Gukesh kind of be sucking it up at FIDE Swiss.
There are some interesting things happening with Gukesh at the FIDE Swiss.
Wow, why you gotta restate my statement in a nicer way?
It's just like, yeah, somewhere that just spending hours and hours and hours a day solving puzzles really made a difference. And it's not what a lot of people want to hear.
Do you think between chess.com and Chess that there is a better platform for beginners that I can speak to people when they ask me these questions?
Yes.
As long as Magnus doesn't want to be the world champion, we're going to get these other world champions and who won't have these stretches of dominance that we're used to seeing. And it's up to us to begin to adapt to that.
Welcome back to the ChessSharkz-Pawncast. On Dashcast.
I love it. Dashcast.
If anybody owns that name, I don't care. We're gonna take it, okay? Coming for you, so watch out.
Well, sorry. We all know who we are by now. I'd like to think so. But just for those who don't, I'm Shaun Brown. I am your gracious host in some extent. Gentlemen, would like reintroduce you guys? How do you want to do this?
I got this.
All right.
I am Grandmaster Caden Trope.
I am Tony Padron.
There you go.
with the little ad.
I mean, what you can just Google me. What do you want from me? Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, famous man.
Actually, we're both Googleable. Are you Googleable?
No, there's former NFL players who pop up before me.
Do you want to be Googleable?
I think we'll get our way there potentially at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Shaun Brown, chess, you might find this guy.
Maybe.
Let's go.
Maybe. A lot's been going on in the chess world, you guys, and I love it. So we have some fun things to talk about today.
Oh, heck yeah.
But before we get there, we have to start with at least one of my favorite parts of this so far. What's the nerdiest chess thing? Nerdiest chess thing you caught yourself doing this week?
First, dibs.
Got it.
Because I don't want someone to take mine.
You're here.
You know this is super nerdy, okay? I was able to gather 3 chess grandmasters for Asian food and had them hanging out, chilling, looking at puzzles together.
That is impressive.
Now, yeah, only so many places you can do that, and we got it done on a casual Thursday. So that was fun.
His organization skills do go crazy.
Yeah, and I saw there are only around 100 currently active in the United States, grandmasters. Period.
Dang.
So, and we had 3.
Getting 3 of them in one place for food is awesome.
Yeah. I guess I can go next. So as you start asking it, I'm like, I'm not sure what mine is. And then like once you finish, I'm like, wow, that's right. I am a nerd. I was going through the Grand Swiss games and going through them, analyzing them a bit, and grabbing them, arranging them into my different categories that I use for coaching so that I can use the current games from the Grand Swiss when I teach endgames, when I teach maneuvering. And I went solidly through like 4 or 5 rounds, went through most of the decisive results, and yeah, I've added stuff to my teaching.
That sounds like a lot of games.
I went through, quickly, but
Shaun, before you go,
yeah,
could you unpack that just a little? Like, what are these categories you're putting them in? Like, paint a picture for me about that.
Well, I mean, it's like a book that has chapters, except as a coach, I have these different chapters, and so I'll go into the one about, hey, I want to teach this student about maneuvering this week, and I want to teach this student about defense this week, and I want to teach about queen trades this week, and so I organize my teaching material into different categories so that it's a little easier to find these games and positions and present it to students.
Okay. And can you give me the most notable game and what category you put it in?
Well, I mean, most notable game, I think, comes down to personal tastes, which for me is this one I actually use in lectures and stuff, but it's a Karpov-Kasparov game.
No. From the FIDE Swiss. Like from what you were doing.
From the FIDE Swiss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Hans had dropped some great games that I'm actually excited to use.
Was it Rook takes E5 or sack the Rook on E5? That game with the knight coming to C5.
Okay,
Threatening checkmate.
I did grab that game, yes, against Erdogan.
So it wasn't that one. Not the most notable.
Well, that was one of them. That was
Okay,
one. But there
okay.
was he
That-
played
I
another
like that
game
one.
that was really nice too. So Hans kind of went up in my book as I'm looking through the games. I'm like, oh man,
Shout out to
this guy.
Hans.
This guy has some games that I would definitely use to teach.
Wow, the freaking Nyman. All right. So okay, sorry, Sean. I needed a little bit more of that. He doesn't. He's not gonna drop GM gems and just leave them over there.
I picked up a new habit that I feel like has been solidified at this point, and it's just very chess player of me to do. Between the heavy lifting sets in the gym, I now pretty much always will queue up a 1-0 game. Because even if we get to the end of the game, it's been 2 minutes, which is a phenomenal rest period. And there's always that weird what do I do between workout sets moment at the gym. So that's my thing now. I get a good handful of bullet games in during my workouts now, and I love it. And I've got the music going, I've got the caffeine in me. It's such a moment that I look forward to.
You know the part I love about that
It's that.
is that it encourages you to play well because like if you just get absolutely crushed, then you get less of a rest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Absolutely.
Wait a second.
You know, this is unique. You might be one of 5 chess players that Jim's enough to do it. I mean, it might be you, Panty. Look, I work out, but I'm not doing bullet in between sets. Like, what the?
You should try.
Like,
That's a game changer.
Because
for both
then,
right there.
I blunder a mate at some point, and I have my rage moment, and I'm already at the bench press. So like,
That's
it's such a
true. Wait
like,
second.
it's so
Okay,
cathartic. It
hold on.
feels so good.
So, are you PRing after you lose the bullet game out of rage, or you win an amazing game? Which one helps you get a PR?
Honestly, it feels like there's been a little push in both directions. Like I'm not noticing a drop off. There's either a jolt of excitement that just starts the set off on a better note, or there's a jolt of rage, which gives me, I feel like, a similar thing. So it's hard to say, but I love this new wrinkle to my workout routine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Freaking nerds.
Further reference, I don't do this when the gym is crowded. I'm not sitting staring at my phone for 2 minutes while other people are trying to get machines. This is
Dude, you would be judged. I would judge you.
judge me for
Who's this nerdy chest? Get it off the chest.
Yeah, no,
Can I use that machine? I gotta finish my bullet.
10 seconds. Hold on. Wait. Like I'm not gonna do that to people. So
Can I work in while you're
no, that is my disclaimer. I did get annoyed too at one point. I was working in with someone. We're sharing a machine, and she finished her set so soon into my game.
working in with her?
Like we're using the same machine. So like I go and I take a break, and then she goes. And when she was done, there's still like 45 seconds on both of our clocks in a bullet game, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not ready to go. Like,
Another set.
yeah, like go again, please. Leave me alone."
Another set.
Damn, you did not get her number.
I did not get her number.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Sure.
Back to the Swiss tournament that's going on.
Oh, dude.
There are some fun wrinkles with
There's
this.
some juicy stuff, man.
I'm trying to get more into at least loosely following more tournaments throughout the year, just as a progression of being a chess player in my own right. And well, first of all, I think I want to start here. How do you pick which tournaments to actually follow closely and which one you just like skim the results for? There's so many tournaments.
Easy. Okay, first of all, Norway chess. Best tournament, most entertaining of the year. Period.
Okay, but why?
Good question. A usually has Magnus, right? That's a big thing. Okay. B, they usually get very attractive players, strong players, people with important titles, and they also have a very nice women's section, which is also like it's not matched anywhere else. Like it's very unique to them, where the prize money is the same, which is super cool. They also do a confession booth, which is great for the creators, for the content. Like it's kind of like streaming where Hikaru can just walk into the booth and be like, "Hey guys, I thought that he sucks during this game," and like you just get to hear their thoughts, okay? And the commentary, fantastic. And you get Armageddon. You get a decisive game, no matter a decisive result, no matter what, every round. So it's the most entertaining.
That does sound fun.
But I would say the reason that the FIDE Swiss is okay, the only reason I think it's entertaining, because I actually don't think it's that phantasmal or anything, is because it puts up 2 candidate spots. And that makes people come to play in it.
Okay, so stakes and the entertainment value are important things when you're picking which tournaments to follow.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious though, if the Grand Swiss existed without the candidate spot, but they just managed to incentivize all those people to play, is it?
I wouldn't track it as well. No,
Really?
absolutely not. It's one of those tournaments that's just like, oh yeah, that's going on.
Okay, and last Sinkfield Cup. Did you follow that one closely?
No, not really. I just a tiny bit, but mainly because it's in the US. And that's about it. There's not a lot of tournaments that really stick out.
But so I'm just trying to gather from your perspective. Do you care more about the players playing or the tournament format, or what's on the line?
The players playing is the first factor.
Okay, so that's number one.
Yeah.
Then is it
And then it's the
format or what's on the line?
what's on the line.
So format is the lowest.
Sadly, yes. But
It's interesting.
it's a huge contributing factor. Like the decisive resort in Norway is so cool. But you take that away, I'm still watching Norway chess for sure.
I'll have to add that to my list. I do like that confessional booth aspect of it.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know why more tournaments don't do it. And okay, part of the reason is that it's so niche and small. It's a round robin. It's like 8 players. So like, there's not so many people trying to shuffle in there. It's manageable. So why doesn't St. Louis do it? I don't know. Their tournaments aren't that big for like the really exclusive ones.
Just do a confessional too.
Yeah, just throw up a little box.
Well,
I like it.
They used to. St. Louis used to. Part of why they may not have been is the St. Louis Chess Club itself has been under renovation and is just finishing coming up in October. So they've been holding tournaments at different locations other than the St. Louis Chess Club.
So they can't put up a box?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, as far as I understand from when the confessional booths kind of disappeared from their events, or at least I feel like they've disappeared. I feel like it has been at least some connection to it. But okay, that's a bit off topic. I mean, it's an interesting point because I think it depends on the events, like with how much is on the line. Um, I actually love a tournament like Grand Swiss. I personally think there should be more open tournaments where we get more incredible players, a wider range. I mean, you have so many unexpected results. Like you just don't know what's going to happen, and some of these close tournaments, like the Sinkfield Cup, I don't think there ever was a fun tournament, exciting, you follow, but I don't think there was ever a day that's like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe this happened. Like Bobby won a game and oh my goodness, another draw. Like compared to the Grand Swiss where you have so many and I'm thinking about this because the US Masters last year here in Charlotte, I thoroughly enjoyed playing. It had Fabiano Caruana as the top seed and some other very strong players, 47 grandmasters. But I mean, outside of Fabi, you didn't really have like the top 30 players here. Very, very strong players. And honestly, like what was on the line for Fabi was some Grand Prix points, qualification to the candidates for him personally. That's like less on the line, less money, less strong players, very strong players, but compared to the Grand Swiss. But just the open event is like fantastic. But maybe that's the chess nerd in me coming out that I do sift through all these games and I do look
It's
at
impressive.
like I mean not 100% of
I mean,
them,
fair,
but like
yeah.
a lot of them.
There's 100 plus players. There'll be a lot of games.
It's got to be a good mix of both. Because like if you like you take a super tournament and you strip Magnus, Hikaru, Hans, and Fabio out of it, has like way less attention immediately. And if you just call it open, but those guys don't show up, the amount of views it will get or attention, I think, will be way less. But if you have those 4 come, and then you throw in a bunch of wild cards, that gives like really good possibilities for both of those interactions to happen. And I think that's the peak experience, because if you don't have the players that bring the attention, then you just don't get peak attention. It's like if there's no Magnus there, Gotham's not making his video on, oh my god, Magnus did this, and less people see that game, which is the critical mass of chess players who are actually like going to watch this. So it's you gotta have some of both, right?
What do you think?
So chess tournaments have been tricky for me because, like I said, there are so many of them, and I was coming to it from a perspective of I am lucky if I know 3 names. Like if I look at most tournaments. So what I've done is
Wait, can you name 3?
Can I name 3 what?
Yeah, name the 3 tournaments.
So Sinkfield Cup is the first tournament I went to in person because I lived in St. Louis for a bit. So I always at least look at who's playing in the Sinkfield Cup, even if I'm not looking at the games. And then outside of that, I always like to see who's playing in the U.S. Championship because I just want to get more. I want to get a handle of like who the key players in my country are. I feel like that was a good spot to start with when I was trying to get into the tournaments. And then after that, it was really the candidates. Those were the 3 that I would like. Really, like I would sort of know what time of year they were happening, and when I would work night shifts, the candidate games would be starting while I was at work, so I could like check in at different points of the broadcast, and I enjoyed that. Outside of that, though, it's these higher level games are still really hard for me to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's not usually any I forget what the word, like annotations. The annotations aren't there yet, so I'm just sort of looking at a foreign language a lot of the time still. So it's really been for me trying to find out who the players are that I'm going to loosely follow and just exposing myself to new names slowly.
Okay, now you give me 10 super tournaments that usually go on every year.
Give you 10?
Yeah. That you're like,
go. That I'm really excited about.
Or that you at least will follow.
Well, I follow like everything. So I mean, you have the rapid and blitzes. Like, I mean, you could throw it. Tata Steel's one that I do follow usually very closely.
Tata Steel.
The problem with like a lot of the rapid and blitz, like you have the super bet one that was in Croatia, I believe. I can't even remember the exact name. So you have some of those. You have the rapid and blitz and Sinkfield Cup and the Sinkfield Cup itself, and you have the World Cup actually is usually my favorite tournament every year. So of course I'm watching out for the World Cup and the candidates and the World Championship and the Grand Swiss and the Esports World Cup now, and okay, I follow Title Tuesday and Freestyle Friday. And,
I went off the rails now.
Can I put another name in? Yeah. I really like the Olympiad.
Really?
Because I like to see who's playing for the different countries. There are always some fun stories about chess players, I feel like, that come out of the Olympiad. I think Anna Kramling and her mother both played for the same team in the last one. Stuff like that I do love. And seeing... I could be mistaken, but I do believe so.
So they're from...
I believe they both played...
Sweden.
Sorry, that's not right.
For their country. Which is not Switzerland.
It's not Switzerland.
Shout out to Anna Kramling. But yeah, so I just want to throw out there too. The Olympiad's another one where I'm like, okay, I want to see this too. I at least keep up with like how the countries are doing in the sense of how I view the Olympics. Also. Okay. Yeah.
So Gukesh kind of be sucking it up at FIDE Swiss.
There are some interesting things happening with Gukesh at the FIDE Swiss.
Wow, why you gotta restate my statement in a nicer way? Why you gotta do that to me?
A, I will naturally always say things nicer than you do, and B, I wanted to buy myself time to make this one note here. There are currently 116 players total in this tournament, and Gukesh currently, at the point that we're recording this, has 3.5 points, which places him 82 out of the 116.
Wow. Okay.
So as I was saying,
that we're not accustomed to seeing from someone that we call the world champion.
Well, I don't know if you could say that because with Ding we were pretty accustomed to that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying. I mean,
we need like a Ding drive-by account. Like,
they're like the strays. How much strays
does Ding get? on a podcast.
Seeing the chess worlds, I will always say, did not do you right, brother. Shout out to T.
He is such a
trade.
nice guy. It's yeah. I played Bughouse with him, and
Okay.
it's always it made it hard.
Pause. You're just casually playing Bughouse with a previous world champion, Dean Liren?
Name drop.
It happens, guys. It happens. Like I don't know. What do you want? There was a story.
Bughouse? Question mark? Like,
you're good at chess. We get it.
But he was super nice.
Yeah, Magnus was just texting me earlier. Like, of course.
Yeah, I know. Not that one.
Pull it later, man.
Anyways.
Sorry, I had to pause for the audience.
No, it's but a super nice guy. Doesn't deserve straights, is what I'm saying. But yeah, Gukesh, so 3 losses in the Grand Swiss, back to back against lower rated players.
And then a draw.
Yeah.
Against a lower rated player.
I mean, Divia's fantastic, but
lower
350 points lower than Gukesh.
That's a how many points you lose for that? 10?
No. You can't lose when you're.
Well, yeah, okay. At that base,
at that rating.
Yeah, at that basis, what's the peak loss?
9.2. That's for a loss against someone.
My bad. 0.8 off. My bad.
Well, no,
as we've learned, 0.8 is a significant ELO number.
but for a draw, I think he loses like 3.5. Like it's not that bad. Like Divia's good. Like she's a very strong player. But yeah, I mean, compared to, you mentioned the Olympiad, Gukesh at the Olympiad was fire, one of the top performances of all time.
I love seeing that.
And now we've seen kind of the bad side. I mean, Gukesh showed up to the candidates, he showed up to the World Championship, and showed up to the Olympiad, and we're seeing kind of, I feel like for the first time, a Gukesh that is not so perfect and not so solid all the time. I mean,
for the first time,
really?
I think for the third time.
Oh,
okay. In classical, yes.
Even in blitz and freestyle.
Oh, that's
no.
What? But aren't you the biggest proponent of blitz shows your skills, the rapid shows your skills?
I am a fan of it, but Gukesh has focused himself on classical, and that's where he showed up, right?
Oh, because he can't. Because he can't put up in the others. Because he can't win the others.
But he's the classical world champion.
Yeah, because he can't win the others.
He's the classical world champion. Is there an echo in here? Right? Like, if we talk about him as a world champion, it should be about his classical results.
You're right, because
he's how he won.
You're right. World champion, not world number 1. Maybe not Indian number 1 either.
And I'm gonna bring Ding in. The thing that I wasn't a fan of with Ding as a world champion, nothing against him personally, but him as a world champion, is he wasn't participating.
Fair.
And I'd rather have a world champion that's participating, even if he is human and he has the bad days. And I mean, he's freaking still 18 years old. Like it happens.
We're gonna be saying that for like 5 more years. You know? He's gonna be 25.
I would so much rather see that and see him fail and see him continue to try and fight than him not play. So that's a huge win in my book, actually, for Gukesh.
No one's going to disagree with you. Gukesh better than Ding. Absolutely, you're right there. No one's fighting you on there. All right? We're way happier now. But we're not in love with it.
Well, can I point out, I think one of the things that's happening here is, it's happening in other sports too, where historically we're used to whoever has that pinnacle position just being a dominant figure for at least some stretch of time. And I think it's happening in lots of other areas. We just have to sort of adapt to the changing sports landscape, where as long as Magnus doesn't want to be the world champion, we're going to get these other world champions and who won't have these stretches of dominance that we're used to seeing. And it's up to us to begin to adapt to that. Because this may also be good for future world champions to see, like, hey, I don't have to win every game. Ding didn't win every game. Gukesh didn't win every game. Like, you can actually, now you have examples of world champions who, I feel like this will ease a bit pressure for future world champions who may also find themselves in a similar position where you just can't have a Magnus style level of dominance.
Wait, but what if I don't like that? What do you mean? Do you think it's a good thing that we have a world champion that isn't basically the best, is what you're saying?
I think it's a good thing that we have parity. And I think we're getting at the heart of different topics here, because on one hand, we're saying he's not the highest rated player in this country, which is true. But on the other hand, winning the candidates tournament has to mean something. It has to.
Yeah,
So he's still
it meant money, a world championship, all the stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like there is something that comes along with that, and then period. And I think we're just holding them to sort of the accolade standard of past champions. But at some point, it's not fair. We have to actually move on. Magnus is not walking through those doors. And what does it look now to be a world champion where you may have people who don't repeat? Period. Like that might be a thing for a couple of years. It's possible. And that just may be the new new sports landscape.
It's very possible.
And we have to adapt to it, is my point. And I think this is just the beginning of that.
What do you mean adapt to it? I don't understand that.
Like at some point, I think we won't expect people, like we won't react this way every time a world champion loses a game because we'll expect it. Part of being a chess player is accepting the variance in chess and accepting that, like, hey, you're playing against other people who are also really good. You're probably not going to beat them every time you play them. And that's just a part of chess, period, regardless of the level, from my understanding. And now we get to see it at a higher level. And I think this is just the introduction of that.
Okay, so would you rather a dominant reign or this flippity flop flop?
I love the flippity flop flop.
Really?
I do, absolutely.
Really? You like flippity? So you like non LeBron, non Michael Jackson era?
Because here's a new fun wrinkle that's going to happen.
I want some credit for that. Okay.
You get credit for that.
Thank you.
You get credit for your cultural references.
He knows two basketball players.
You named your basketball player that you know already for the podcast. I won't make you name any.
It's Kobe. Okay.
Proud of you. Oh. In 10 years, we're going to start doing the top 10 chess players thing again. Like we always will do that. And the more people that have an opportunity to be a world champion for a stint, that adds to your resume. So I want people to have the ability to add on to their resume a bit. Because there are tons of people who played basketball, say, during the time of Michael Jordan, who never got a chance to win a championship. And that affects so many conversations about them throughout history. I think it's better now where we have more champions so we can sort of add some nuance to these conversations.
Okay. I don't hate your point. I kind of like it.
I'm so in the middle of this. I just because you're talking about Norway chess and how it's so exciting to have like Magnus playing, and I agree. Like I'm excited to see Magnus playing in events, and that's fun. But I also I think to like the Esports World Cup, the final, like you get all this, and I was following that from a pretty early stage, the Esports World Cup, because Bortnick, who lives in Charlotte,
Shout out to Bortnick,
went to do like this last chance qualifier. No, it was the qualifier for the last chance. It was a messy system,
Okay.
but because Bortnick was there and we're friends and I like him, I'm like, okay, I'm following it from like a very early part. And then you get to the finals and it's like, okay, Magnus is going to win. And I still follow it, but at some point I wish I had a bit more doubt that Magnus wasn't going to win the Esports World Cup. And I had a little bit more worry that, hey, Perugia might be the one to take him down, or Hikaru might be the one to take him down. And there was a period where it felt like Hikaru and Magnus were closer than they are now. I mean, Hikaru is still a very strong player, but I feel like it's been forever since I've seen Hikaru like really in a head-to-head match take down Carlsen. And
I mean, the last time was a Speed Chess Championship, I think 2 years ago.
Like I don't know. Like I love seeing Magnus. I like seeing how brilliant he is, but I could get behind this era of it switching off, us all kind of chilling out a bit about, hey, it's the world champion. He did it. He won it. Great. But he lost the game. Okay, that's fine. That happens. I could get behind it. Just to see, just to try something a bit different.
But Magnus does give us peak chess. The pinnacle of chess comes from him. When we see the best play, the highest accuracy, the most beautiful games, usually it involves him. Like it's and like adjust the game, like some of the things he's done is just breathtaking. I mean, like how he beat Nepo in the World Championship match with like the queen versus what was it? Nepo had queen, he had 2 rooks and a pawn.
Yeah, just a long grind, queen versus 2 rooks.
Yeah, like he shows amazing stuff, and like you take him out and you have like these other flip floppers. Like we may not get that Not like peak, like wow, like that's crazy. And I really like seeing like wow, like that crazy level chess, like his understanding. Like I'm glad we have it. Like I I want someone that strong around showing us that amazing chess.
I actually would disagree though. I think we see like I do think Magnus is peak. I do think Magnus is peak. However, I do think a lot of this exists. It's just not as publicized. Like as you already know, I was going through Grand Swiss games and finding things that I'm like, wow, this is a fantastic game. It's there. Like even what was one of there was this really good game that it was played by someone who's 2650. So you borderline 200 points lower rated than that, but these guys are so good. Like once you cross that 2600 rating, like these guys are fantastic, and I think it's there. It's just not getting the attention. I mean, if someone on board 50 plays the best game of chess ever, it may not get talked about if it's just this positional masterpiece.
I'm with you. I agree on that point. But the net positive for my argument is that if you don't have the rain, the not flippity flop, the one person, you don't get the attention.
There's more attention. People hype it.
Yeah, and
So-
if you have it, you get the attention and you get more of those moments.
I think this will be my last basketball parallel for the podcast. But
For this episode.
for this episode, yeah, your correction for this episode. There's a similar thing happening in the NBA where LeBron is still an active and very productive basketball player, correct? This last year, I'm telling you, it's correct. I wasn't asking you a question. That correct was not a question mark. This last year in the playoffs, LeBron was not a part of the playoffs. But there's still playoff basketball for an NBA championship happening. And it felt like for a second the media just didn't know what to talk about without LeBron being there. And what we're seeing happening is you actually have to do some legwork and research the people who are good now and know things about them. And I think we're getting to a similar spot in chess where it's like we can't just say, oh, what move did Magnus play today? What brilliancy did Magnus pull out? We actually need to know a bit about some of these people and do some of the legwork ourselves because we haven't adapted yet to the point where we know who else to look forward to these things from besides the top 5.
And you think people will?
I think there will be a space where if someone gets a hold of that and starts publicizing it, they can do well in that because we've created now a need. There's a need for this. And what we're filling is the gap. Like this is the market asking for a thing that we just haven't provided yet.
So what if I told you that person trying to fill that need is called the Take app?
Then shout outs to Take, and I hope that they do very well because it's needed. We need to learn about these new people.
That's a big part of their premise. That's a big part of their value in their app. Hey, you can pick these players and you can click to follow them and directly follow their games and just watch them and get to know them and like keep track of them kind of like you would in a sports app, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but
Just like that.
they're attempting to do that. Hasn't gone so hot, in my opinion, after the World Championship. I don't think it's going that great, but
it's new.
it's early. It's early.
Yeah.
Like do you have the app?
I don't.
Do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
I do have it. Do you ever look at it? Like, did you look at these games through the app?
I look at it through places that I can download these games easily from my TV.
I do look at they make some really good YouTube videos. I will say that. I check out their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That I agree with. Their content's stuff. It's good stuff. I'm watching, guys. Good stuff. Way to have Bortnik on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was awesome to watch.
Magnus, you got hooked in Mario Kart. Boom.
Yeah, that's true.
I still wanted to address who the best Indian player is because I don't think it's Gukesh. Between him, Prague, and Arjun, I'm not even putting Vidit in the conversation.
We're not including Vidit at all.
No.
I mean, you can advocate the crap out of it if you.
Justice for Vidit.
I mean, he's just leading, I think. But I'm not going to put him up there.
It is one of those figures I would see on YouTube before I started trying to actively follow. So I was introduced to him first. So I'm a bit partial.
I don't think we know personally, and I'll say the reason for this is because, in my opinion, last year, Gukesh and Arjun were like the two candidates. Like if you want to talk closed, elite tournaments, it was Gukesh. If you wanted to talk open events, it was Arjun last year. This year, hands down, it's Prague.
Yeah.
So I think they're too young. I think they're too young. They're still learning. They're still gaining experience.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see this for the next 3 to 5 years where it's different every year. Like next year could be Arjun, the next year. The following year could be Prague, the following year could be Gukesh. Like I don't know. My take is they're too young and they're still. I mean, when we talk about dominance, they're all good enough that could they become like a bit more dominant? I think so, but they obviously have whatever Magnus figured out to figure out before that happened.
So what do you guys need to see out of one of these three to put them in clear first above the other two? Give me this is what I gotta see. One's clearly higher rated, one's won more tournaments, one's world champion, because each of them has one of
You're not
those.
gonna like my answer.
So I need something. I need measurable markers.
I don't know if mine is measurable, but if you're gonna roll your eyes again,
Okay.
the way that we discussed Hikaru sort of getting to go out and play with people who might not have gotten a chance to play with him, I think that does something great for the sport. My pick for those would be who does things that are great for the sport. So, like, at any point, is there one of these guys who can you still play opens if you're Erigaisi and now you have all of this rating? Like, does this stop you now from playing in opens anymore? So things along those lines of like, what are you doing for the sport? Or even if someone just had like a great summer of content online, like the time where Magnus went to the Chess House and they sat there and did all those games at the Chess House together. If one of those guys did something like that, that would be my pick for sure. So like mine is a lot more subjective.
So that feels like for the chess world though, not objectively the strongest or the best.
Yeah, the fan service, but that would make them the best in my eyes, because they're doing the fan service.
I don't know if you say like they changed the game. I mean that's part of why we look at Magnus, right? Like it feels like he actually impacted chess and had a certain influence that was above and beyond just being a really good chess player.
Yeah.
I could roll with that.
What about for you?
I don't know what markers.
Okay.
Outside of, I think the highest rated means a ton. I think that might be number one biggest factor is highest rated. More than world champion, more than performance. I think highest rated is a huge indicator, which is why for me it's such a blow that Gukesh isn't in the top 10 right now. It's like yo, bro, what are you doing? Out of the top 10, hold on. So that would be my first marker. I used to have to think about the others.
Well, I actually think rating is. I mean, obviously it's important, but I don't know. It's almost one of the lower on the list.
One of the
I'm with
lower.
Well, because like okay,
I mean, that's what Magnus has.
if Hikaru goes and farms, more Louisiana, Iowa tournaments,
Oh, here we go.
and,
Shout out to
and passes Magnus, like Magnus is still number one, right? I don't give a crap that Hikaru passed him on rating. I don't for a second think Hikaru is like better than Magnus now. So I guess my point is I feel like rating can be too affected by the tournaments you play in, or just having particular bad because you can lose ratings so quickly at that rating. Like you could just have one bad tournament and be better in every other single tournament. And do you really deserve to be considered the worst player because you had one bad tournament when literally every other tournament throughout the year was better? I don't think so. Right? I would go off of tournament victories. I think tournament victories are a lot.
Tournament victory.
It shows a certain level of being a champ. I mean, because that's the thing about Magnus. Like you look at who's won the tournaments. Like Magnus, I think had only not won one tournament he played in this year.
Wait, but to clarify, does the math not work out that if you're winning the most tournaments, even if you have a bad one, you're still not net positive rating and wouldn't fall into that category of you fell off?
Well, see, but the rating's a result. I would still rather care about the tournament victories than the result. Now, some of that's also influenced by what tournament, because You go win this open, that open, as opposed to you win this high pressure event. I mean, that's big. Like Prague won Tata Steel, right? Like that's a huge tournament.
Yeah.
That's a huge tournament victory.
And
that carries a lot of weight for me.
And someone else who like gets a rating and then sits on it. Not that any of you have done it so far, but like if that's the thing that happens in the future, that wouldn't make them better than someone who's like actively trying to grind through the tournaments and just winning some here and there. So I get where you're coming from.
Okay, I know I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's probably highly correlated that the one winning the most tournaments is probably the higher rated out of the three.
Well, that's not true because Gukesh won the most tournaments and he's the lowest rated of the three.
Yeah, he's won the most.
I mean, I think in the last while, like significant events, right? Candidates World Championship, and he took first at the Olympiad, which I would consider a tournament victory, taking gold for his team.
But Prague, I think, is already a 3+.
I mean, as far as that elite of an event, I think it's just Tata Steel.
No, I think he has others.
But not to that level, not to that performance.
I would like to throw a caveat into this. Which of them are going to come to Charlotte first? That plays a factor. That plays a big factor for me.
Fanboy, bro.
It's a thing.
I could be wrong.
It's a
I
thing.
believe Prague's already been to Charlotte.
If he has, then my answer changes. Prague, solidify my vote for you by throwing some content out there this year.
Okay, but
Absolutely.
who's the next one to come to Charlotte? Who would be the next?
I would guess Arjun.
I think it's going to be Arjun.
That would probably be. I can see that.
Now, I will say against Arjun, I think I've heard like one paragraph out of the guy, like ever.
That's fair. I need more. That's another part of my thing is we need to know more about you. Because we're at a point in chess now where like this is an era. Like 10, 20 years from now, we're going to be talking about this time where we're kind of waiting to see when Magnus, if Magnus dips ever, and we're watching the people come up against him. And when we look back on this, it's going to be such a shame not having like actual footage to get to know these people through.
It's true. Danny's a big proponent of this idea that the top pro level players like really need to be out there, have content made of them. They don't have to be creators necessarily, but they can be like in other sports where they're really out there doing the things, being around creators, getting content. Yeah, like just doing all the stuff. Like he's a big proponent that like, hey, you guys want to get paid more? Like this is something you need to do if you want to be paid more, and you all seem to be wanting to be paid more. So like maybe spend a little less time on your opening and do some more of this. Like that's the hard truth.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean that's probably something to dive into another time, but I definitely agree with that. I think the top players could be doing a lot more to increase engagement in chess and bring the money in themselves.
Yeah, Magnus and Carl basically the only ones doing it.
Sure.
Like the fact that they were on Lex Friedman podcast, and Joe Rogan, like
stuff like that.
Now that gets you known around a lot of places.
Or even like, dare I bring other content creators into this? The amount of people that I've seen the Botez sisters collab with, like they had Will Smith, they did something with Jason Derulo, like stuff like that. The more of that I see, and a lot of these other high level chess players could definitely have access to sort of communities.
Yeah, or like, dude, I want to see one of them on Hot Wings.
Yeah,
like, come on, like go on there, answer questions, eat some freaking wings. Come here, I'll buy you wings. Yeah, I'll get you cranked up, bro. No ranch, I got you, man.
Oh, I love it. The question that I had, are we good now? No. I loved every minute of this, honestly. Another thing I'm trying to wrap my head around. So the main, maybe it's changing, the most lucrative title, I would say, is that World Chess Championship title. But outside of that, when you look at other tournaments that you can win, are they sort of all on an even playing field outside of that? Or do some of the other tournament wins still mean more than others?
Okay, I think I should go last on this.
Okay, what do you think?
So basically, you're asking like, what's the most prestigious tournament to win outside of the World Championship?
Correct. Like, is there still even a hierarchy outside of candidates and World Championship? Is there still a hierarchy? Or is it all just sort of like
this includes like World Championship and then Rapid and Blitz too are also off the table.
I'm including like.
Oh, those aren't off. So we're just talking about the
like
overall.
World Rapid and Blitz is still there. Yeah, I'm talking about just the overall, because I assume that's like the.
Well, yeah, number 2 would be Rapid and Blitz.
The World Rapid and Blitz, you would say, is next.
Yeah, above any of the other classical, actually, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like I can't think of a single classical tournament that really stands out so much that I would be like, whoa, that guy won that, or like, oh wait, that guy won the World Blitz Championship. Whoa, I can't even think of one that stands out that much.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you name the current world rapid champion?
Okay. He has a strange name. He's this young white guy with blonde hair. He is what's his name? If you could list out the juniors, like I think I could pick him out. But he has a funny name. It is
That's a funny name. That's correct.
yeah. No, I know him.
Okay.
And this is the second most prestigious
Well,
now.
yeah, well, because strangely, I would almost advocate that I wouldn't include Rapid in there, but I would include Blitz. I
Interesting.
mean, if you look at the history of the Blitz Championship, like Magnus's name just all over
Well,
that.
I
Now
mean-
Magnus has also won the Rapid, but you
Yeah.
have Volodar Murzin, if I'm saying that right.
Yep.
Mersin.
Mixed in there.
Out of Russia, shout out to you.
I think Abdusatarov also won it, but when he was a bit lower rated. So like the Rapid, I don't know. It seems a little bit more volatile. The Blitz seems like yeah, you peak almost, which feels weird to say, but I guess the way the tournament format or something just feels like it's
No, I agree. Blitz
top.
But the Rapid, I think, matters.
Okay. In spite of the co-world champions, you still put Blitz next after the world champions.
I put Blitz.
Okay.
But the classical ones, look, maybe I just don't know them that well. My bad, But there's not one that like really stands out above any of the others. Like the Seamfield Cup. Nah. Even Tata Steel, like a big deal, but still is not like so clearly above the others. Norway chess is just cool because it's cool. But is it like, well, you won Norway chess? I don't know. There really isn't one.
I would actually almost throw in not one particular tournament, but like any combination of three. Like winning 3 major tournaments in a year feels like a very serious deal to me. Because you can do singular tournaments like the candidates, a bit of a cheap one outside of the World Championship.
those are like
You can do the World Cup as well, which I think is a big deal. I mean, Magnus, like you could see for a while, that was the title he really wanted. He wanted to win the World Cup specifically because they kept eluding him. But I don't know, like if you just win 3 major tournaments, any of these, any of the 3 the Sinkville Cups and the Tata Steels of the world, and you're able to win 3 of those. I mean that's a huge deal to me.
Well,
In a year for
but what your real answer is to his question then is that no, all the classicals are about the same. That's what your answer is then. That's what you're saying.
I mean, to a point. Like I don't know if I think, hey, this one tournament, like if you win that one, you're the. I mean, outside of like the candidates to me is actually the one. Like I almost think the candidates, as far as just like a singular tournament, is the one because the qualification path is difficult.
I agree.
And honestly, like I would say it's almost more difficult to win the candidates than it is to win the actual world championship.
So, for those who don't realize, I am here in a sense for representation purposes, and by that I mean for all the chess players under 1500 that like to take part in these things. Absolutely. I don't know what else you could have thought I was referring to.
No.
So,
Okay.
I would like to know from the stronger players. Speak to us. A lot of this stuff is just for the higher level players, and I want to know. First thing, this is very important to me. What is the proper balance of puzzles versus games while trying to improve and get a grasp on your chess?
The proper balance of puzzles versus games. So so you have an hour and you spend the hour. What percentage puzzles versus games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Third,
Puzzles and play.
yes, 75% puzzles, 25% playing. That's my answer.
Okay.
He gets that percentage from me, by the
Oh,
way.
does he? Okay. All right.
I usually tell people whatever time you're spending on chess, I think about 75% of it should be on calculation work, which usually entails puzzles.
Okay.
Now, kind of on that, this is something I found out recently talking to Bortnick. Bortnick is currently the number 6 player in the world in Blitz. Absolute genius of a human being. That it's annoying. Like I want to beat that guy in a rated Blitz game, so badly. Which I've told him to his face. Hopefully tomorrow. But he was saying because we were talking about books, and I've never been the biggest book reader, and he said like, oh, I've never really read books, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I've heard you say you didn't really have a coach, you didn't really have books. Like, how'd you get good at chess? Like, sincerely, I need to know. And he's like, well, I had programming, and he would spend hours a day just solving puzzles. Apparently, it was some Kasparov program that he was solving them on, and I was like, oh shoot, that's what I did as a kid. There were these programs. It started out with puzzles for beginners. Then it was like puzzles for intermediate players, puzzles for advanced players, and then CTR.
CTR, that's old school. I like CTRs.
But like I'm like, yeah, I did that. I remember one Saturday going on CTR. My dad challenged because my two brothers were playing at the time, challenging us to solve 500 puzzles in a day. And this ain't no puzzle rush. 3 minutes.
First 20,
like,
yeah.
Some of these are. It took a lot of hours, but I did it, and it was just like interesting to hear him talk about it.
What a challenge!
I think he did it more than me, but it's just like, yeah, somewhere that just spending hours and hours and hours a day solving puzzles really made a difference. And it's not what a lot of people want to hear. Sometimes I feel the looks like people. I say, yes, do your tactics, solve your puzzles, and they look at me like, why are you even alive right now? Like, why do you exist? It's a little too gruesome. That's the look. Like, it's just like, why did I even ask you in the first place? Like, I could have just found this out from literally everyone else that tells me to do puzzles.
But they don't listen.
Yeah, and it's spending the hours. It's the word Bortnick used that I really love is discipline. Spending the hours a day, solving it in a disciplined way, so focus, really putting in the effort, and doing that. For me, it was 5 days a week. I don't know for him, but doing that, multiple days a week and being disciplined. Because if you can push yourself in these puzzles to be disciplined, to spend 5-10 minutes, or more solving them, then you are going to be disciplined at the board, and that's a beautiful world because then you can actually like start to learn chess a lot easier. If you can think moves ahead, if you can calculate, which you build easier from solving puzzles, then me coming along and telling you, okay, you want to learn this positional concept, so much easier. Because if I'm telling you where to put your knight, it is so difficult to understand that if you can't even think 2 moves ahead, 3 moves ahead, right? How do you know where to put your pieces positionally if you can't think moves ahead?
Dude, I'm all about this. I'm a massive fan that you need huge volume in order to really progress in these aspects of tactics, of games. You want to improve in chess, you need massive volume. And my students, I want them to do tactics every day, tons of volume. And I think that's how you get good, because you're smashing. You're basically smashing correct chess, because there's an answer to these puzzles, right? You're smashing correct chess into your brain and feeding it, hey, this is correct chess. Hey, this is correct chess. Hey, this is how you correctly do this, over and over and over. And eventually you get some of this subconsciously smashed into your brain, and you start to think more correctly in chess and start to play more correctly, because that's what you keep putting into your brain. And I think volume is a massive key. I think Bortnick, because you guys had volume, is why you stand above others. I mean, you're 3,000 in Blitz, which is basically top 100 on chess.com, which is basically the whole world. Top 100 GM at 3,000 Blitz. Bortnick, number 6 in the world. You have to smash tons and tons of volume. And I think there's no way around it if you want to become really strong in chess. There's
disappointed.
there's
not a
It's not a
Ozempic
workout.
shot or a pill or something like.
there's no amount of opening study that will make you a good chess player.
Well, now we're gonna have to start our therapy podcast after this.
That would be a
Shaun, like-
separate segment, another recurring segment for the podcast.
This makes it so frustrating.
I'm coming around to it slowly over time. I'm getting there, you guys. I'm a work in progress. Can I tell you something that's going to shock you really quick?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, as you both know, I'm 1200 rapid on chess.com.
Let's go.
You know, and I'm taking all of those. I started as a legit like 500 rapid chess player when I crawled into this.
It goes that low?
Brother,
Haven't you said enough?
it goes into the 100s. It goes into the ones. I promise you. And when I meet people in real life who are either playing chess or getting into chess, I'm very often the strongest player they've met at 1200, right? So and I take it. And people often ask me like where they should sort of start with their online. And I've exclusively been a chess.com player. I've very little Lead Chess experience outside of Puzzle Racer. Do you think between chess.com and Lead Chess that there is a better platform for beginners that I can speak to people when they ask me these questions?
Yes.
You've been quick with some of these answers today. All right, elaborate. Elaborate. Let me hear. Like, which one would you go?
My answer is Lead Chess.
Why is it Lead Chess?
Good question. Because I think whenever you get into a new category, it's very practical and smart to go with the free option. Because if you're about to jump into the chess world and you start dropping money and then you bounce out of chess, like you just wasted a bunch of money. Like explore the free option that gets you like, 80% of what's going on. And then if you're here to stay, yeah, bro, jump to chess.com. Again, if you're gonna stay, jump on chess.com. But if you're introducing, you're just getting into this. It's kind of like if I was about to okay, side tangent into my life. I just started running, right? I'm not going out and buying the peak shoes, the peak performance stuff, spending all the money on like the best gear. Like I'm like increments. Hey, I'll spend $20 on a running belt and like that. I keep running. Like, okay, maybe I'll upgrade to a running belt that also has a water bottle because I'm running for longer distance. Like incremental as you dive in and you start to get more into the world, you spend more money into the world. And I think because Lead Chess is free, that it's the lowest bar for introduction. So that's how I approach it. You go into a new genre. Like I just jumped into tennis. I don't buy the best racket or join a tennis club. I go to where a tennis court is free. I buy like a reasonable racket. I first started with a Walmart racket, bad balls, and then I buy the expensive ones.
Okay, but what exactly are they getting on Lead Chess for free that is that game changer? Because you can play games on chess.com for free.
No, I'm not saying game changer. I'm saying that it's the most free for the most it's the most bang for your buck. And when you enter, that's really nice.
See, but I'm just thinking like someone's getting into chess and I want to recommend one of these to them. And let's say, yes, I follow you and I say I recommend Lead Chess. What do I follow it up with? Go to Lead Chess. It's free and you can do.
We can do all of it. What do you mean?
But what?
You can play, you can do puzzles, you can have lessons, you can do study, you can do it all. What do you mean?
But here's the thing that you get for free on chess.com that to me, at least as far as a lot of the new players I've talked to and who gets into chess, goes way farther is content and exciting things to follow. I mean the top players. Like what exciting tournament ever goes on Lead Chess that anyone in their right mind is ever gonna follow?
Wait, hold on. I think they're all on. Like if I jump on Lead Chess, are you telling me FIDE Swiss isn't?
No, I'm talking about like a dedicated Lead Chess event.
I am going to hump in here too and just say that like new chess players aren't really following tournaments like that. But I do see what you're saying.
Well, but that's like when I'm talking to a new player, I would actually recommend chess.com. because when I want them to go to chess.com, I say just go experience chess, right? Go read some of the news articles, get into the blogs, get into the lessons, get into these tournaments, like just go see a wide variety of it so you get to know what chess is. Because I'm not telling these students like Lee Chess, yeah, it has some cool study features, but I'm not going to tell some new player like, oh yeah, go into your study and create an opening repertoire system and
No,
start adding top player games.
they're going to play. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
Everyone's
they can
going to
do that
play.
on chess.com.
They can
Which has a bigger player base.
with ads, which everybody hates.
But it's still like it's a bigger player base. I think there's more content, more engaging.
But everybody hates ads. That's a universal. Ads immediately is a turnoff for people.
I just don't know what I would. I mean, I would include Lee Chess in the conversation, but at the end of the day, like a new player, I think I'm more likely to, hey, go check out chess.com, get into the content, and then maybe as they get a little bit more and they want to get into some of those features, then
I used to look at a lot of that stuff.
See, but the content, because I
Yeah.
look at chess content not on chess.com. I go to YouTube, I go to Shorts. That's where I see chess content.
No, I used to look up a lot of, and like you were saying with the articles, there was the name escapes me at the moment. Shanklin did a series where he would go by decades and he would highlight the best, I forget the number, say like the best 10 games played in the 80s. And he did that for like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I used to really like those.
Wait, and you read this?
I did.
Oh, you didn't just watch a video on it?
No, they were like, I don't remember if they were annotated games or if it was a video where he would also show them, but it was just on chess.com. I don't remember it ever being on YouTube. It was content for them and stuff like that. I used to get into a lot for sure. But that is a fair point.
yeah, like I think Lee Chess as you get better into chess, yeah, getting to test out like even puzzles and getting to do those for free, like I understand. But as someone who's like new, I want to just them to see what chess is like, and I think they get to see that a lot more on chess.com.
All right, I've got another one for you guys.
Is
I just want to hear some chess advice that you would give to your younger self. So I'm not going to give you a specific phase. I'm not going to give you a specific elo. There's a younger version of you that just could have used some solid advice that you now have, and I would like to hear what it is.
Dude, sorry, but my answer is actually what I told you guys is if you want to get better, there's no way around tactics and volume. And I wish I would have understood it and known it earlier in my chess life. Like
That's fair. That's good.
like all of my recent growth and peaks, I would have had them earlier if I just like knew what to do. Like I just didn't understand. Like I'm over here like watching lessons and like looking at things and like I could have scrapped all of that. And if all my time went to tactics, I would be a better chess player right now.
this is really hard for me because I'm at a point with my chess now that I'm pretty happy. Like I made GM, which was a huge goal for me, and I won some big tournaments that I'm really happy I was able to win. And so and like now I'm coaching and I'm doing pretty well online and just kind of finding my place in chess. Um, but I think the biggest thing that kind of changed to get me from where it was to where I am now that I wish for myself because I started so young and I got really good and was playing in some very high pressure tournaments. Like I would just love to go back and tell my younger self like it's gonna be okay. Like don't stress that much. It's fine. Like just keep learning, just
That's
keep
good too.
working at it,
Yeah.
and like you'll get there. Like I know it's not like I'm gonna change any study habit. It's not like that one study habit I'm gonna change. It's like I just feel like as a kid I needed to know that as I'm involved in studying and I'm working with some high level players and coaches and playing in these serious championships that I just needed I could have just used like my future self to be like, you're gonna be okay, you got this, like don't stress too much about it. Yeah, I had coaches that they would go through the process and they would tell me like, your tactics are good. Like we're gonna do very little of that.
It's not what
Um,
love to
I
hear
can't.
that from a
I
coach.
cannot imagine honestly.
No.
Cannot really. Right.
and then that I'll credit a coach I worked with for a long time, Grandmaster Alex Sherman. He is the one that I really think taught me positional chess.
Shout out.
Shout out to
yeah,
Alex
shout out to
Sherman.
him. So I had the tactical base, I did the grind, I got the positional. I look back and I think I just needed a better mentality more than anything, and so just a little bit of a boost, just a little bit of not stressing so much. I think would have gone a long way.
What about you, Mr. Brown?
Mine is tricky. So I played my first tournament when I was 27, but chess had loosely been a part of my life since I was probably like 23-ish.
How old are you now?
30.
3 years.
Yeah, so I've technically been a USCF member for 3 years.
So are you going back in time 3 years to tell yourself advice, or the 23?
I actually think it applies to both because one of my biggest things was I used to just take so many breaks where like I would just get into like a chess phase where I could do not 2 hours. I could do an hour of puzzles 5 days a week. I'm saying back then. Now I can do more. But back then I could do that for 5 days a week for like a month, let's say. But then after that I would just drop off and I just wouldn't look at anything outside of chess YouTube. But I wouldn't do anything active chess wise for months at a time. So I think my biggest thing would have been to sort of make sure I understood that chess is a part of your life. It's going to continue to be. And it's going to be better for you if you find active ways to stay involved. Like, don't let a month go by and you haven't looked at puzzles. You need to find the things that are at least somewhat fun, that even when you really don't feel like doing chess, at least you can do X. Like, whatever that would have been, if it was 3-minute puzzle rush or whatever, like, it would just been like, hey, focus on that because just staying consistent is a big part of this that's going on. I mean, every time you take a break, you are going to have to ramp back up to where you were before the break. So that would be my biggest thing is find ways to just like stay engaged. Like chess is here, it's got you. It's not going to let you go. Make the years count, Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goes a long way.
Yeah. This was fun.
This was fun.
I love this today.
That was really good.
Okay, man.
If you made it this far in the video, shout out to you. We shout out a lot of people, but we need to shout out y'all. Thank you for all of your support so far. We're still figuring things out, so bear with us. We're getting better.
Hey, we upgraded. We got chess pictures, some blinds, a mic.
Shout out to
Yeah. So we're upgrading because of you guys. Because you guys said our last setup was dog doo-doo, but
and they weren't entirely wrong. So we appreciate you guys for making it this far. Send us questions in. You can reach out to us through any of our channels.
comments down below.
Comments here on Instagram, on Twitch during the live streams. Talk to us. We're going to continue to bring you guys some of this good content, and we appreciate all the support here.
And we'll see you next time.